So we are going to start today on the roller. So if you want to set up your mats, then take the roller lengthways down the middle of your mat. That would be ideal. There's a little mix up at the time of the class starting. Like last week, sometimes some of the information said 12:15 and some said noon. So we're going to be doing sort of like a little stretching with the roller, probably for the first 15 minutes, and then move into the Pilates workout. Anything I should know about anyone? Your body's requests? Yeah.
I had a toe issue, kind of. I had a really bad injury in March. So my flexion and like the plank position isn't very good. So I might just modify that.
Yeah, sure. Go to your knees or whatever. We may not even get to Pilates. A lot of Pilates is done sort of on your back or sitting.
Awesome.
So that would actually work out well for you right now. And you're good?
Well, I can't really do my wrist because I had surgery on it.
Okay.
But like it's fine, kind of.
Right. But you don't want to put like a lot of pressure on it. Yeah. So if we do get into planks at some point, and it may or may not be today, you would probably do it with the forearm variations, right? And if anything bothers you, let me know. And everyone else is good? You guys? Perfect. All right. So we are going to start today with this hybrid class on a roller. If someone who's viewing this on the Surf Floor channel on YouTube doesn't have a roller, you can always do that just on the mat. Or sometimes people will roll up a beach towel or a yoga mat or a bolster and take that like along their spine. But we're going to just start being sure you're centered here. It's not so much that the roller is centered on the mat, but more that your body is centered on the roller. So you definitely want to be sure that your tail is at one end of the roller and the top of your head is on the other end. So we'll begin by laying on back. And again, this can be certainly done without the roller, and we'll get the benefit of most of the arm work. However, if you're on the roller, you can extend your arms out to the side. Here, your feet are about 4 to 5 inches apart, the width of your hip sockets, not the outside of your hips. And the back of your hands rest on the ground, if that's possible for you. And then we're just going to slide a little bit from side to side, massaging up the back. And really, you're going sort of curving your back around the curve of the roller as you dip down through the hip on one side and the armpit on that side and then to the other side. So I often think of this like a saddle and slipping up a horse, so kind of going around the curve and then falling to the other side. So you want to let your body take on the curve, the shape of the roller while you massage the line of muscle on each side of your spine. This is also great for releasing tension between your shoulder blades at the base of the skull and at your sacrum. So then come back to center. Feel the equal weight through your feet. Heel, big toe ball of the foot, pinky toe ball of the foot also. And we inhale to embrace the arms up to the ceiling, like the air above you. Exhale, pull the arms apart slowly. And as the arm descends, feel how the shoulder blades hug the roller beneath you. This whole series is designed to take tension out of the upper back, the shoulders, the neck. So inhale, the arms rise. You embrace the air in towards your body and then exhale and release it. You can even think that your inhale is sucking the air deep into your lungs, putting it back in so the arms rise. And then exhale, you can open the mouth and breathe out completely to push the arms away. And again, you cup the palms, you curve the arms. It's a big hug above your body. And then exhale, release it slowly out and down. And we'll do this again. Arms rise on the inhale and then sink on the exhale. Next, lift the arms up to the ceiling, and we're going to settle the shoulders as we exhale, palms face in. Inhale, lift the hands to pull the shoulder blades up and off the roller surface. Exhale and sink the blades down. Inhale, arms rise, and exhale and release. There still should be reach forward and up to the fingertips, down and back to the blades, but you're moving that whole shoulder girdle line here on the right and the left. As you shrug the shoulders off the roller and then feel the shoulder blades hug the roller under your body. So this builds awareness of your back muscles because in truth, if you don't see part of your body, you tend not to have a good awareness of it when you're moving or even just standing or sitting still, thinking about your posture and alignment. So we'll shrug this up on the inhale, exhale, widen the collarbones, let the blades fall. And then let's inhale to turn the palms forward and exhale to lengthen the arms along at your side. The further you reach your fingers towards your heels, the more the shoulders move away from the ears and the more your neck lengthens. So now we inhale to lift the arms up to the sky and exhale, bring the arms back by your ears. You do want to engage the abdominal walls of the back as an arching here. Now lift the arms forward and exhale all the way forward and down. And the arms rise in unison. They reach back in parallel. If your chest is tight, maybe the arms will go a little bit wider. And then you bring the arms forward and exhale, bring them down. And here the arms are narrow, skimming the side of your body. Lift the arms up to the sky and exhale back. Just double check that you're pressing to the inside line of your feet to get a little bit of work through the inner thigh muscles and that inside line of your legs. You don't want the knees falling open or dropping in right now. Just continue here with the breath. Inhale to lift the arms, exhale to lower them. And here we'll bring your hands to your shoulders to do little circles with the elbows. So you pull the elbows in by your waist and up, exhale out around, down and in again. So inhale to scoop the air up here and exhale, circle around and down. We flow the arms up and then exhale, reach out and around. Allow the shoulders and the shoulder blades to sort of massage the roller underneath you. You can shrug the shoulders here and then release them back down. Do one more here. Getting as much mobility in the arms and the scapula as possible. Let's reverse. Going down, going wide. Pull the arms forward, in and then down. The hands rest easy on the top of the shoulders, giving you a close kinetic chain here. So you're more aware of what's going on with the parts of your body that are moving in comparison to the parts of the body that are still. Just one more here. Complete the circle, and then we'll bring the arms forward and down along at your side for full arm circles. And you reach the arms up in parallel, take it all the way back by your ears on the inhale. Now with the palms of the ceiling, stretch wide out to the side walls, and then bring the hands down by your side, parallel to the roller, and then turn the palms down. We lift the arms up and reach behind you, and then exhale, circle out, around, and down. Palms down to do it again. Okay, we're not trying to arch the back. If your chest is tight, if your lats are tight when the arms go back, your back will want to arch additionally. Try to hold the waist lifted up the roller, but keep that normal curve of your mid back stable. You're not increasing the arch as you go back with the arms. And exhale all the way around. Let's reverse it. So palms up to circle wide and then back. You want to lift the arms a little as they reach behind you, and then exhale, press the air out of your lungs as you push the arms down at your side. Palms up to circle wide, out and around. Exhale, deep breath out. The deeper, the longer the exhale, the more you'll feel your low belly knit together like an inner corset. So you stretch and then exhale, press the arch forward. And one last one here. Hopefully you can feel this like starting to open up your chest, giving you some more mobility through your arms. Great for swimmers, by the way, and also volleyball players. And let's slide on up. Really, it's helpful for everybody. And then let's come up to sitting. So, good to see you all here. So if you're at home doing this with us, you don't have to have a roller. You can always elevate your hips here on a yoga block, some books, but the roller is great. So we are going to lay down on your back again and just do a little bit opening next. So laying on back, I take the roller under my knees, and then you lift the hips up, head is down, and you bring the roller across the sacrum, that big triangular bone near the base of your spine, and hold the roller so it doesn't slide forward. And we'll pull one knee into your chest first, and then exhale, pull the other one in. Now lift both legs up to the ceiling. Try to stretch them here. And then we'll bring the right leg back by your shoulder and the left leg forward. This is called a scissor. So we're going to switch the legs. The right leg goes forward, the left leg goes back and up. And switch again. We'd like to feel as the leg goes forward that you get a little opening across the hip, maybe into the quad. And then when the leg lifts, bring it up high enough that you feel a stretch in the middle of the hamstring at the back of the thigh. So inhale for one movement, one scissor split, and exhale for the other. And then switch again here. And do one more. We'll lift both legs up to the ceiling and take the legs in external rotation, heels together, toes apart. And we'll pull the legs apart sideways. And then exhale, pull them together. You can feel that stretch to the inner thigh. Just be gentle, be kind to yourself. Open it as much as is appropriate. And then exhale, pull it together now. So the legs open apart. And then exhale and close. Now leave the left leg up in the air and take the right leg out sideways and then hold that left hip grounded. So you may feel that work in your left abdominals and the obliques. Exhale and you pull the right leg up very slowly to the top. All this without moving the left leg. Now the right leg stays vertical and the left leg goes sideways. Out and down, push extra weight into your right hip bone. Feel the stability there against the movement and the tightness, the weight of your left leg. Exhale to bring the leg up with control. And again here, the right leg opens sideways. Maybe see if you get a little bit more mobility here. And then exhale, pull it up. We don't want to force the stretch, but you want to gradually explore it. Keep the weight pressing down through your scapula to help you organize the upper abdominals, and that will help you really find more control in the lower ones. Right leg out. All the way out and down. Exhale to lift it, and one more for the left. Exhale to pull it up. Now fold your knees into your chest as you inhale. Exhale, lower the feet down with the knees bent. And we're just going to open up the front line here. If you've been sitting for a long time today or this week, you'll need it. So the right leg goes forward, stretch it out. If it arches your back too much, you might adjust the position of the roller or slightly bend your right knee. Remember, if this feels great in your body, go ahead and extend the right arm back, palm up, arm by your ear. And again, if your chest is tight, the arm will go out a little bit to the side laterally and not be so, in alignment with the shoulder and the hip. Just breathe into this. See if you can picture your hip bone crest being the highest point here, like the mountaintop, and then the leg slides downhill, the chest and the arm slide downhill to the floor from there. Anyone notice how tight they were and how good this feels? Yes, for sure. And then let's bring the arm back, slide the foot back in. And now let's extend the left leg forward. The two sides might be really different. Just go with it. Again, bend the knee slightly or adjust the roller if you need that. And then we'll bring the left arm back overhead. This will give you a chance to stretch the whole inside of the body, but you may also feel it in your chest or in your lat on your back. And you're breathing here. Think inhale to lengthen and exhale to release the body into gravity. Let whatever is at the back of your body sink towards the floor. And just one more deep breath here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale and release it. And then bring that foot back in. Lift your hips up as if you're in the shoulder bridge. And then slide the roller out. Lower your spine. Push the roller to the side. And then extend your weight forward. And just take a moment to see what's happened in your body after the chest opening and after the hip opening. You might feel that your body is more relaxed, could be longer. You could feel more connected to the ground. More of the back line of your body is actually supported by the floor, by the mat. All right, so good. So we're going to move into a more active Pilates practice now. Pull your right knee into your chest, hold onto the back of the thigh, lift the left leg up to the ceiling, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, look down your belly, and then push the legs forward to roll up to sitting. All right, and for those of you who haven't met, welcome to class, and here we go. So we're going to begin with upper curl. So we'll start by having the legs bent a little bit against the back of your thighs. And we'll just do a quick review and then move into the movement. So as you sit here, sit upright on your sits bones. Try to imagine the top of your head reaching up into your own personal halo, and your gaze is soft on the horizon. The head's pressed into the back of the legs gently. Look down and then curl your tail forward and up so you go behind your sits bones. Feel it, and you're going into the glutes. You'll roll back a little bit at a time, your hands sliding towards your sits bones here along the back of your thighs. Try to lay yourself down over the glutes to the sacrum, to the hips, bend your spine so don't keep it straight. So let your belly sink into the spinal curve. Go down to the waist, go down to the base of the ribs and the tip of the shoulder blades. You stay there. This is what we call an upper ab curl Pilates. And now from here, let's come up. So you lift the head, neck, and shoulders, and the elbows wide. You can pull the hands along your legs to help you steer yourself up. Come up gradually and then sit up nice and tall. So the idea here, we're working the spinal vertical one by one into the ground. So sit upright and practice your best posture. And then look down, suck the belly back. You're curving the tail forward and up. You may be able to feel the sits bones narrow and move forward as you start to imprint your low back down 1 inch at a time. So you're going over the glutes to the sacrum and then a little bit lower. Good, your hands can slide up your legs so that you can lower your butt down here 1 vertebra at a time. Come down to the tip of the shoulder blades and we'll lift 1 more time here. Dig your heels into the ground, maybe squeeze the legs together. Exhale to pick up the ribs. Try to really bend the spine here. So you're working the muscles between the rib cage and the abdominals. Come all the way up to sitting up tall. Good. We're going into hundreds next. So we're going to go back to the upright curl and then start pumping the arms at your side. And then we'll choose different leg positions depending on what your back and your belly can support. So nice vertical posture here. Open the collarbones, pick up the chest a little bit away from the abs. And now look down, suck the waist back. You're actually rotating the pelvis here on your femurs, the thigh bones, and you come down 1 inch, 1 vertebra at a time. Try to drape your body down like some of those red velvet ropes they have at the movie premieres, right? Go all the way down here to the tip of the blades. Pull the knees into your chest, tabletop. Press the arms forward, start pumping the arms. Inhaling for 5 beats, exhale for 5 more. You want to keep the head up, the neck as vertical as possible here, away from the ground, and you look down your nose towards your abs. As you inhale, feel the abdominal wall expand, watch it, lift, and go wide. Exhale and pull it down deep. Now, while you're pumping here, you can experiment. Just take the legs still in that tabletop position, slide them forward a little bit, and feel the increasing load into your abdominals. Right? You're going to see where you can go. Don't go any further. We don't want the back to arch. And then maybe exhale and pull it back. Another option here would be to take the legs up to the ceiling. If your hamstrings are tight, you may need to have the knees bent slightly. Squeeze the legs into each other. And then you can even try extending your legs forward if that's okay for your back, right? Just be careful, don't go too low because I don't want you to aggravate the spine or the intervertebral discs. Find a position that works for you. We're doing 1 more breath. Deep inhale, expand the chest and the abs, exhale completely. And then we can fold the knees in, lay your head down, and arms extend out to the side. Rock your knees to one side, turn your head to the other. Get a little stretch in your back, across your chest, and for the neck, short to rotate. Come back to center here, and now pull your left knee into your chest, extend the right leg up to the ceiling, and we push the leg forward, chin to chest, and the upright forward and up. Hopefully you all have a fair bend. So there's a thin of this over there by the side of balls. And next is roll up. We're just going to do at least 1 with a fair bend, and you can decide if you want to do fair bend 3. So we'll take the bend wide across the ball and foot in the arch, and then sit upright. And to really sit up on your sits bones, if your hamstrings or your low back are tight, you might have to bend the knees a little bit to really feel like a little arch at the waistline here. But now you can straighten the legs if that works for you without like tucking and falling back into your waist. Now we are going to start to roll back. So look down at your abs again, start with the pelvic tuck. You pull the tail forward and up, and then you lay your spine down 1 inch, 1 vertebra at a time. Go all the way down, watch your alignment, and squeeze the legs together. Nose, sternum, navel, pubic bone, and the edges of the feet all in the same plane. Lay your head back, that's the last thing to lower. Coming up, lift the head, neck, and chest. Exhale. You can pull the elbows wide and back, and then come up in a curve with your spine. So it's not just a flexion. And then lift your belly into your back and dive over. Take the stretch here to open up your low back and your hamstrings. Flexing the feet will give you more stretch in the back line of your legs. and then articulate up. So the band is a great option. We can also go band free. So you would start with the arms forward, and then reach the legs forward here, begin with the pelvic top. This is going to be harder for guys because you have more weight in your chest and shoulders. Women have more weight in their hips. So you may find if you go band free that your legs will lift. And the answer to that is for guys, usually they'll put ankle weights on their ankles. Yeah. Or they see coming up, your feet start to lift because you've got more body mass up here. Diving over, and now we're doing it again. So the lower the arms are, the easier. If you take the arms up higher, it's more load to control, right? So you can make the decision to start with the arms high, and then you realize if you start to lose your ability to control your descent, you lower the arms to come to the floor. And then we can lift the arms to the ceiling, take them back a little bit without arching the ribs off the ground. Lift the arms, widen the collarbones to drop the shoulders, lift the head, neck, and chest. Exhale to pick up the ribs. Suck the belly back so your spine is curved like you're coming over a beach ball. Dive forward out here. The head reaches out for your halo towards the toes. And then we come back again slowly. Roll the spine down here, press out for your feet. Zip the legs together like a unileg. Curve your body into the ground. And then you stretch the arms back. The breath is essential. I know I'm talking through it, but we start an inhale and then it's an exhale to lift the bulk of the rib cage up and over. Try not to rely just on your hip flexors, but really use the abdominal wall so your spine curves forward over the legs. And then on the way back, we start the same way. The arms can go higher as you can control this. If you find you're accelerating and you're missing part of your spine going into the ground, go back to an easier variation. This looks great, good job. And then stretch the arms long here, circle the arms around, and now grab the third if you can. Never remember to leave it at the right place. So here we go. So we're going to take the band in your hands, go all the way down, and then pull the right one into your chest, hug it in tight. And just do a couple of little stirs here. So you circle the knee on the hips. And if someone at home doesn't have a TheraBand, a yoga strap is a great prop too. I've even had clients use belts or dog leashes here. And then let's reverse the circles. You feel this is starting to warm up the hip socket. Try to keep the torso steady as you move the leg on the hip. And then let's take the band in your hands. We're taking the center of the band around the ball of the foot and the arch, not around the toes. And the band should be wide as it connects to your foot. You lift the leg up to the ceiling, the elbows anchored down at your side. Slide the elbows as far forward as you can so your neck is long and relaxed. And you lift the leg up as vertically as possible. If your hamstrings are tight, put a little bend in the knee so that you have the foot right over the hip. Straighten it if you can. And now we reach to a soft point, reach up to the ball of the foot without over cramping the toes by pointing them too hard. And then feel that stretch, that length, and we circle. As you bring the leg across the body to the left, you want to keep the right hip rounded, and then you circle low. Rotate the leg externally out to the right, put all the way up to the ceiling. And we are working to stretch the leg out into the band. The band will give you support as you draw that leg around in a big circle here. But it's equally important to keep the pelvis grounded. Like the body should stay stable on your mat so that you engage your core, you engage your abdominals, and you're working to lengthen the leg muscles and also release tension out of the whole leg. With this reach forward into the band gives you lots of support, but you also support from your center, pulling the hips down into the surface of the mat as you reach out long with the leg. We'll do one more. The leg rotates internally as it crosses over the body, and then it goes neutral at the bottom. External rotation as it reaches out to the right, and neutral again at the top of the movement. Pause there. Externally rotate and let the leg go to your right. Circle forward and around. Think about too how you're working your hands with this. Try to pivot from your elbow and let the wrist be straight. So sort of the forearm, the band, and the leg are all working in parallel lines. So stretch and keep lengthening the leg, but definitely press through the upper arms to keep your body grounded here on your mat. Before the leg is right, push down to the left side completely, like we fell into a ditch here, and then reach it around. Now, before the leg moves to the left, press the right side of your body into the floor like it's glued to the ground. We'll do one more. Reach out a little longer each time. But open the muscles here, open your hips all the way around to the top, and we pause. Now, we'll take both ends of the band in your right hand. If you need a little extra support, you can also hold with the left, but then extend the left arm out to the side, or hold the left hand on the hip bone press to be sure that you're not rocking the pelvis. Keep the left side of the body down as you bring the right leg out to the right. You want to feel that stretch to the inner thigh. You want to feel the reach to the center of the leg. And then gently rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. We exhale to pick the leg up to the ceiling, switch hands at the top. Now, as you extend the right arm out, you can cross that left leg over the body, turn your head to the right, look out along your fingertips, and then reach the leg as far as you can. You've now lifted the hip, the waist, some of the ribs, but not the shoulder blade here on your right side. So you have a big twist in your spine. If that feels like it's too much for you, pull the hip back down. And or soften the knee a little bit, just bend it slightly. But here, rotate the leg internally so the knee and the chest point down. And you'll feel more stretch go into the glute, into the low back. Exhale, pull from your torso to get the leg in the air. So come down from the left shoulder to the shoulder blade, to the waist, to the hip. And then lift the leg up to the ceiling. Give it a little tug so you feel more stretch in the hamstring. Keep the stretch in the belly of the muscle, not at the knee, not at the sit bone attachments. And then fold it into your chest and brace it in, the band to the side. I'll get it nice and tight here. After we stretch, we compress. And then we'll slide that leg forward. This is like where the magic happens. So just take a moment, shake out your legs, and then let them relax. And now feel the difference in the two sides. And it's not just in the leg, it's also in the hip and the back, right? So you probably notice different things. The leg probably feels longer. There's more weight, more connection to the ground, from the back of the leg to the floor, because you've taken tension out of the muscles, release some of the tension around the joints. And you may, if you take your hands to your bone crest, you may feel that that right hip bone crest is now angled out more externally. So you've actually changed a little bit of the position of the pelvic half. In any case, hopefully that feels wonderful, and the left leg is now a little impatient. So we're going to start pulling the left leg into your chest here. Pull it in tight, give it that compression. Reach out for the sits bone. You want to decrease here at the left hip. And then we can start the circles, circling the leg nice and smooth and easy on the joint surface. You're not circling the foot, you're circling the knee to get that rotation of the thigh on the hip socket. Reverse the circles here. Just for those of you who haven't taken class with me before, if anything bothers you, if it feels like it's wrong for your body, please stop and we'll look for modifications. I'll try to give as many as I can while we're running through the class, but all bodies are different and you have to really honor what's going on with your body at any moment in time. So here, let's pull the band around the left foot, around the ball of the foot in the arch, toes free to wiggle and breathe above the band. And then you can tighten up on the band, you can choke up on it or pay it out as needed. Be sure your elbows are sliding forward, and then you lift the leg up, get a nice stretch in the back of that leg. Soft point through the foot, not over pointing the toes, but reaching through the balls of the feet, the metatarsals here. Bend the knees a little bit if you need that. And just breathe into the stretch. Slide the elbows down so your shoulders are not hunched up by your ears. The neck is long. And now we start the circles again. At every circle, there's a breath pattern. We do a short inhale, a quarter of the distance across the body, and then a long exhale down, all the way around, and then up to the ceiling. The idea is you really want to run out of breath at the top of the movement. So what that means is if you've got really good lung capacity, you may want to shorten that inhale so it's super short, like a quarter of the distance of the circle, and then exhale, 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 exhale to the top will help you really engage the lower abdominal muscle, the transversus, at the end of the movement. So you reach long, remember, internally rotate across, externally rotate away from center. And focus on weight in your hips, opposing the weight and movement of your leg so that the pelvis is grounded here, stable on the mat. That way you're working your low core. Let's do that again. So stretch into the strap. Feel the release, the lengthening of your leg. Been dying to do this all day. And let's do one more here. Bring it over and around. Draw it low, out to the side, and then up to the sky. And now we reverse. Out to the side. Exhale low, push it forward. It just misses the bottom leg. Drag it across and lift it up. Find the end of the exhale at the top of the movement and start again. Remember, don't just bend at your wrist, really move through your forearm. So we're not putting too much pressure on the carpal tunnel here at the wrist joint. One more to stretch, pull the opposite side grounded, all the way around, up to the top. Find the end of the exhale at the top of your circle. Pull that leg a little higher, and now we take the foot end of the band in the left hand. Open the leg out to the left, the right hip is heavy. Try not to tip the right glute off the ground. And then we rock the leg a little bit towards your shoulder and away. The leg kind of thinking about being parallel to the floor. And then we'll exhale, take the leg up, use the upper inner thigh, pull the leg to the ceiling, switch hands, cross it over. Now you can feel if you leave the hip down, if you take the leg across, you'll get a lot of stretch in the IT band area, that outer thigh and the glute. If you extend the leg further and start to spiral off the mat, now the stretch changes into the glute and that SI joint area here. Rotate the leg a little internally to get more rotation at the hip. And we're stretched diagonally through the muscles in your leg. Exhale, pull the hip down to lift the foot up to the ceiling. Reach it up high, give it an extra little pull. See how nicely we helped lengthen your hamstrings. They're very grateful. And then you pull the knee into your chest, stand to the side, embrace it in, and then release it forward next to the other one. And just shake out your body, lift your head, be sure that you are aligned, no sternum navel. The feet are equally distant from your midline, and then relax down and just enjoy the work that you did. It's important to notice the change that happens after you move. And we're looking for positive change, of course. So pull the right leg in, left leg comes up, front forward and up, rolling with the ball comes down. So if you would grab the ball, you would take it down between your thighs. If you're just on the yoga mat, you may want to grab another one. The orange mats that we have are super padded. If you're on a yoga mat and the rolling is uncomfortable for you, add a couple more mats. You may not know that until you try it, right? So we're going to take the ball between your thighs, above your knees, below the pelvis, and edges of the feet together. Pull the knees up, and we begin usually by taking the hands to the back of the thighs. Once you've got used to this, the hands go to the shins. So we lift the tail up, you round the back, and pull the elbows forward. Try to breathe into your back and make it as round in a C curve as possible. Now, you begin this movement by lifting the tail and you roll just to the shoulders. You inhale back to the blades. Exhale, forward to your balance point here. And after you do it a few times, you'll be able to use just the right amount of effort to come forward and not drop your feet into the ground. You also don't want to slam your head into the mat on the way back, right? Obviously. So squeeze the ball, feel the inner thigh wide. Inhale, lift your tail over the blades. Exhale, come up and forward. And we'll do it several times. So while we're back here, you can use a little bit of momentum. Try to get your butt in the air so you balance on the shoulder blades for like a nanosecond, right? And then you come right back up. If you want to try hands to the shins or the ball out, eventually you pull the legs in tighter. Look down, inhale, curl the tail in the air, balance on the blades, exhale, come forward. But the exhale is really helpful. Try to start your exhale as soon as the tip of the blades touches the mat on the way back, and that way the exhale will carry you all the way forward and up. Okay, good. With the ball to the side, if you have it taken there already, we're getting ready for the first of the abs series. Right hand to the right ankle, left hand below the right knee, both hands on your shins, and then you pick up the leg, you curl the tail up, you're going back slowly, and you can reach that left leg away from you as a counterweight to take your spine down one vertebra after the next, balancing that upper up curl, elbows wide, legs in parallel. Now inhale, switch the legs. As the left leg comes in, the right leg goes out, left hand to the left ankle. And then we switch right hand to the right ankle. It's an aim for one leg to move and exhale for the other. As you push the hands down into the leg, also give an oppositional push up with the shin into your hands. See how that burns up your arms and also engages your core. The leg shoots straight out of the socket. And you're using that connection of your hand to your leg to help you find a deeper upper arm curl and a little bit more work in your abs. You guys all feel that? Beautiful. And then one more time, pull the right leg tight. And then exhale the left leg in as the right leg extends. Both knees into your chest. And then lay yourself down. You lower the feet. Just turn your head easy side to side. You will feel that work in the front of your neck. Mostly, we don't use the front of our necks very much. So it will get stronger over time, will feel better. And also the higher you are in your upper curl, the easier it is for your necks. So let's pull both knees in, tabletop legs. Onto your upper curl, use the arms slightly lift. And now let's pull the legs in tight, one hand to each chin, double leg stretch. Legs are zippered together, they stay together. Inhale, the arms and legs reach up to the ceiling, stretch the fingers and toes. Circle the arms wide and around and embrace the legs into your body. So here's the thing. You are gradually going to start taking the arms a little bit back and the legs a little bit forward and then embrace it in. However, you do not want to change the position of your head or your upper arm curl. So if you take the arms too far back and you fall back towards the ground, you've gone out of your range of motion. So you want to just feel that you can reach away and feel maximum work without changing your spinal position. And then exhale and embrace everything in. The gaze always stays down on the belly. And you pull yourself in here. Elbows wide, shins push up. And one more. Stretch out and away. And exhale, pull it together. And then rest it down. All right, now we did a scissors exercise on the roller earlier. We're going to repeat it here in your upper arm curl. So pull both legs in. Again, pull yourself up, use your abs, come to your upper arm curl and look at your navel. Extend both legs up and take both hands high on the right calf or ankle and push the left leg out. The legs in parallel. Inhale, switch the legs and hold yourself up as you release one leg and grab the other one. Look down the midline at your navel here. When the leg comes up, try to give it a little bit of a stretch. The knee can be slightly bent, but try to get the stretch in the hamstring. And then stretch it forward, reach out of the socket, and pull it up again. We'll just do one more. Lift the left leg here. Bring both legs up to the ceiling. Pull the knees, lay your head down. And let's roll forward and up for spine stretch. There's two more in the upper abdominal series. Come back tomorrow. We'll play with that then. So, or if you can't come in, you can watch this on videos, right? So come upright. If your hamstrings are super tight, you may want to have a yoga block to sit on, or you may want to bend the knees pretty substantially so that you're sitting right up on your sits bones. So the legs apart a little wider than your hips, extend the arms forward. Here the goal is to move every vertebra of your spine one after the other. We're going to press lightly through the arms, lift the heart, expand the chest, and then look down. Look down your nose, let the head move, and then move your neck. It pulls the neck forward over in a curve, and then you go through the upper back, the mid back, the low back. You're diving your head down, aiming for the space between your heels, and sucking your waist up into the curve of your spine to really bend it in a C shape. You should almost feel like you look like a horseshoe on its side here. And then press your legs, and you sink the tail into the ground, and you pull up from the low back to the mid back, to the upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Good, look straight ahead. And then we're diving over again. Bend your knees just a little bit more if you feel like your back is rounded when you start from the vertical position. Exhale all the way over and down. Dive forward here, breathe out completely. Your inhale lifts you up as if you are breathing in helium and your body starts to flow up. Your head floats up into the ceiling above you to elongate the neck and decompress your spine. Good, beautiful posture. And then look down. All of this work is designed to release your body, relax it, increase your awareness of your own mind-body connection, and your awareness of how your body moves through space. And then how to use your body really functionally moving through each joint successively here. All right, we'll do one more, looking down and diving over. Exhale all the way over and down, stretch out your body. You can hold onto your legs and pull your waist back to increase the stretch you feel. And then let's bring your hands down, fold the knees into your chest. All right, and we can move forward to the front of the mat for open leg balance and rocker. So, recommend initially hands to the back of your thighs. Eventually, your hands go inside your legs and wrap across the top of your shins. So then you curl the tail up, you pull your waist back, you pull your chest forward towards your legs, edges of the feet together here. Now, as you inhale, the right leg extends up to the ceiling. Straighten it as much as you can. And you may want to slide your hand down onto the calf for a better grip if that's what you need. And then exhale, pull that down and connect the edges of your feet together here. And then inhale, extend it up. So the arms would be on the inside of the legs. If you're holding on like this, and then pull back, or the arms could be on the outside of the thighs, which would give you a lot of support. So in that case, it would look like this. And exhale, pull it back. And now for the left. Reach. And again, hamstring tightness is going to prevent you from lifting the leg as high as some other people are able to. Don't worry about it. Now we're going to both legs at the same time. So both legs lift up. It's a narrow bend, your feet sort of align with your shoulders. And exhale, pull it back down. Your hands are inside the legs. When they go up, the hands kind of slide a little bit around to the outside of the calf. Hold your balance point and then pull it on back. Now we get ready to roll. So inhale, lift the legs. Look down into your abs. We curl the tail up again, do not flop your head into the ground. So we only get back to the shoulder blades, but in the air, exhale forward to come up to balance. And then take it back. Okay? Take it back here. Exhale forward to lift. And one more time. Good. And then let's bend the knees, lower the feet. All right. From here, we're going to come up to standing and do a little bit of standing swan, which is an upper back extension. So, you have to stand. Back a little bit. Right, so here's the thing about extension, which is just moving the spine backwards in space. Right? Most people, when they think about going into extension, they use the inverse curves in their spine, like you've got a curve in at your waist and at the back of your neck. So it's really common for people to just push the belly forward, throw their chin up in the air, and call that extension, which, technically it is, but it doesn't really help you develop openness in your chest and a more balanced curve in your spine. So for Pilates, what we're thinking about is really trying to get the extension in the thoracic spine where the ribs are, so that you can open the part of the body that tends to be flexed forward all day and knit in across the front. So what we're doing is we're going to start with your hands to your low abs. So go between the pubic bone and the navel and push in onto the abdominal wall. And then try to slide the hands up like you're moving the flesh. Also kind of giving a massage to the organs underneath. Slide on up. So you're lifting the navel up and into your chin. Then when you get to the base of the ribs, rotate the palms so they're up and the pinky edge of the head is into the base of the rib cage. Feel it and clear the bones there. Now we're going to lift up, pick up the ribs, pick up your chest. When you get to the chest, slide your hands to your sternum, slide up the sternum to the collarbones. Slide your fingers across the collarbones, that'll open the elbows. Pull the elbows together down behind you. Lift the heart and then lift the eyes. And you can lift your head tip back as long as you don't over press in the cervical spine. And then exhale, zip it up from the bottom to the top. And come back to a straight head. And you feel that you've got this big lengthening here in the front of the abdominal wall. And also you should feel like your chest is sort of open, but you're really having forced anything, right? So we're going to do that again. As we feet apart a little bit on this, 4 to 5 inches, parallel feet and legs. Hands come into the abdominals, push in, and now start to slide the flesh up. So you're not going to push the belly forward. In fact, imagine like there's a wall in front of you, all the way from the thigh to the base of the rib cage, and you stay into that wall, don't go through it. So you lift the ribs one by one, your hands go to your sternum, and pick up the chest. Hands lift to the collarbone, just slide your hands along the collarbone to the shoulder blade tips. And then you pull the blades together behind your back. And look up, even let the eyes go back, like you're looking for the top of your forehead. And then exhale to release out of it. So the image I love for this, I use it for myself all the time, is that I'm looking at the toothpaste and squeezing from the bottom. The toothpaste comes up and then it waterfalls backwards. But it doesn't really go forward at all. One more. Hands to the belly. This is the antithesis of your everyday posture, for sure. So bring it all the way up, get to the ribs, slide the ribs up one after the other, good. Hands to the sternum, lift the sternum, lift the heart. Hands to the collarbone, slide the fingers out, elbows go wide, and pull the elbows down the back. So you can feel the blades trying to squeeze together towards the center of your spine. And you can lift the heart a little higher. You're going to feel the stretch in the abs and the skin, even in your abdominal wall. And then exhale to release one out. Oh, you all look great. Take a deep breath, see how that feels. With your comparison, collapse the shoulders and the chest. Breathe in and see how that feels. Not nearly as satisfying, right? So when we're to end, we're the opposite. Hands there, pull that head up. Pick up the heart. Expand the chest. Elbows back and down. Abdominal wall lengthens. Exhale, release back to neutral. Good. So you all look like you can walk into any room in movement, right? So it's a good thing to know that you have that ability to access your inner posture so that you really are balanced. It's also great for balance in sports and otherwise because you're really now centered, right, on your body instead of being like thrust and like falling from one direction to the other, which makes you more susceptible to being pushed off balance or fall off balance. Anyway, so here we go, back down to the mat. Hopefully that was helpful and great. So from here, I'm bouncing around a little bit to give you a feeling of some different types of exercises that we do in Pilates. And we're going to practice the teaser prep work next. So for this, you'll have your knees bent, hands to the back of your thighs, sit up on your sit bones, and then curl the tail forward and up. So you roll back again. You're going to balance a little behind your sit bones at the base of your sacrum. And then your feet get a little light. Pick up your knees and then bring your feet out in front of you. Good. So you want to find your balance point here. Elbows a little wide so the shoulder blades wide on your back, and you can drop your rib cage back in between your blades. And then really suck the waist back, like there's a bowling ball here, above your navel and below your rib cage. And embrace that imaginary ball into your chest wall. Now, we're just going to bring the arms forward, hold this, and then extend the legs slowly up towards the ceiling. You can use your hands to the back of your legs if you need to. This is what we call a teaser position. Fold the knees, bring your hands to your thighs. If you do yoga, they also do a position like this in the yoga practice, right? So lift again. Extend the arms maybe up, parallel to your legs. Hold your balance here on your core. And then bring your hands here to your legs and then fold. Keep the feet off the ground. Now, the next thing we're doing, we're going to try to roll the spine down and push the legs away from you just a little bit and then come back up to this. So you start with the pelvic tuck, you curl the tail up, you round onto your sacrum and the legs slide forward, bring your hands closer to your butt as the feet reach away. So you want to have like a balanced shape here and then pull yourself back up. So you don't want to leave the legs in the air and go down with your torso, though that is a variation we do. But you're trying to keep your toes at eye level as you go to the floor opening here and then closing it. So the two parts of your body, your upper body and your legs, act as a counterbalance for each other. So you reach out, good, and then you pull it together to lift. And this should feel a lot in your core, not in your back. The trick to that is you don't want to lean back with the upper body first, so your back arches, and you don't want to take your legs too far forward too soon. So begin by starting the pelvic tuck, imprint the low back down a little bit, and then reach the legs away. Now guys usually have to take their legs a little lower than women to find the balance point. And then you pull yourself up. And just really work to keep the waistline going down. So as you go back again, we're going to lift the tail, round the back, find your balance, push the legs away, curve the low back into the ground, and then pull everything up and together. So this is really a more advanced exercise, but it's a more advanced exercise when you take it from the top, go all the way to the ground, and then back up again. Almost anyone can practice it at a smaller range of movement starting at the top. But you'll appreciate it because you know you're feeling the work, you're feeling the effort to find the balance, and you're starting to appreciate how you have to be so careful with your spine when you move like this, when you're putting those loads through it, so that you really can stay safe while you're doing your exercises. And this works for the same practice, the same fundamentals work for any kind of movement that you're doing, whether it's for your sport, whether it's, you know, when you're on your mat, or whether you're just moving in your everyday life. So from here, let's go into a twist. So I think some of you probably noticed if your hamstrings are tight, and if you did notice that, could you please go get a yoga block, or if you're at home, grab a book or something to sit on, because you'll get much more benefit out of the twisting if you're elevated here, so you have free mobility for your spine. Perfect. You can sit on two, you can sit on one, whatever works for you. We're going to extend the legs forward and have them parallel here. This exercise is called spine twist. And if you're sitting up and your back is rounded at all, if you're falling behind your sits bones with your weight, you want to bend your knees until you can come up and sit right on your sits bones. And if you take your hands behind you to your waist, you should feel a little indentation. Right, that's going to be a lot more comfortable for all of us. And then I won't worry about it. So then we extend the arms out to the side, and slightly in front of the collarbones, push slightly down through the arms and go up through your chest and up through your halo. Now here, rotate to the right, and we pulse 3 times. Pulsing 1, 2, 3. Lift to center, and then twist to the left. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Bring out your waist. Good, and then again to the right. Very good. And what I'm really seeing here is everyone's really being careful to keep their arms just floating on the movement of their rib cage. And with that rotation through the waist, that's what's initiating the movement. It's not your hands going forward to pull you around. That would be wrong when you see the arms end up like at 90 degrees, because then your body's trying to pull you into it. You've got more rotation than your spine would actually do. This isn't a shoulder flexion movement. This is a spinal rotation movement. Center, and we'll do one more set, twisting to the left and back to center, lower the arms down. Great. And now let's open the legs for soft. Since you're elevated, there's a good time. Even if you're elevated, you still may want to bend the knees a little bit. You know, it takes time to unwind tightness in the legs. And here, extend the arms out to the side again. We'll rotate to the left, bring the right hand over, bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg. You can go anywhere. It could go to the foot, it could go to the calf, it could go to the thigh, whatever works for you. And then you pull your chest around and look behind you. The back palm is up to the ceiling, and you reach long through your fingertips in opposite directions. Stack your spine up, holding the twist, and then unwind it. So now we're going over to the right. The left leg crosses over. You dive the head out and down. You can have the left ear go to the right knee. The right palm reaches behind you. And here, use the press into your front leg to pull your right shoulder up and back So you can pull the blade a little bit closer to the spine. And now lift to come up, center, and we go again to the other side. So twist and dive here, reach out long, stretch it out. The body comes upright, centered here, and once more over to your right. When you're diving to the right, put more weight into your left glute. Try to really press that since going down for the diagonal stretch into the back. And then we lift it from center and lower the arms down. Great. I think since we were talking a little bit about planks earlier, we're going to do something similar. So we're just going to start in quadruped position here. So if you have trouble with your wrists, I would say roll up the mat. And then if the heel of the hand is here, the fingertips can go down on the floor so that your wrist is not in like a full flex position, and see if that feels okay for you. If it isn't, stop and we'll think of something different. Everyone understand that? So if you don't have like full 90 degrees flexion at your wrist, doing any kind of standing on the hands is going to be hard for the joints. Do you feel it's okay there? You have hypermobility in your body, which just means that you've got a lot of laxity in your ligaments that tend to be a little loose. That's what they said was the problem. Right, yeah, that's often the case. So I'd like you to rotate the eye of the elbows to face each other more, so your elbows point out. And then if you put weight into it, you're not going to be able to like collapse into your joint. You're going to have to work for your muscles. And I think this is also going to be better for your wrist. Okay, so here, just begin. Let's slide the right leg back. Pick up the right leg. And now press through your right hand, the heel of the hand, and sort of pull it towards your left knee. And pull your left knee slightly towards your right wrist. Can you feel that engage like a diagonal line in your abs and then your back? Hopefully, yes. And then bring your left paw up and extend that arm out. So I've heard this called flying table, pointer, like hound dogs. It's a prep to start to strengthen you into your planks. Good. And then we lower the left head down, slide the right knee under. Maybe wag your tail like that hound dog. And then we'll extend the, we'll first push down through your left heel of the hand and pull it slightly in towards your right knee. Ditto, pull the right knee slightly towards the left wrist. So now you're aware of like one of the lines of diagonal from your hip to your armpit or chest. And now extend the left leg out, lift it here. And be careful that you don't fall over to the right side. So put a little extra weight in your left hip bone crest, in the left hand, and then you pick up your right paw and extend that arm forward. The shoulder pulls back. Your gaze is forward and down. Great job. Bring it back. Now, if you want to just try a plank from here, first just sit back on your heels and shake out your hands to this. You okay for this one? You may want to go onto your forearms. Okay, so either be on your forearms or on your hands. And if you can, spread your hands into the floor, right? You like open the fingers, go here, and you want to bring your shoulders right over your wrist. Then take one leg back. This one's probably not for you for your toes, right? So you could repeat the pointer that we just did, right? The other leg is back. Now, in Pilates, we're taught not that you lift the butt up in the air, which often people teach you because they don't want you to hurt your back. But pull your shoulders forward over your wrist, pull your head out into the halo, press the legs together, and reach back for your heels and your tailbone so your body actually is in a plank. I could lay a plank on you, and from the top of your head to your tail, and your heels would be one line. And you press the hands down, so you're feeling a lift into the serratus and the connection to the external obliques. Squeeze the legs together. And just hold this. Feel the strength in your upper body. The legs help support each other here. And then we go softly down with the knees. Do not drop it, lower them with control. Sit back in your child's pose and just stretch out your upper back. All right. At the end of the more advanced mat work, there's a lot of plank-like exercises. We do side bends, we do front planks, we do back planks, we do side planks, et cetera, and you have to start to build up the strength from the very beginning so you can carry all that off when you get to it. But this was great. Thank you all so much for coming to class. If you have questions, please stay and ask me. And if I can help you, I will. And if anyone has not checked in with that, where that red dot is, be sure you just swipe your card. And I hope you'll all come back to class. I'm actually doing class again here on Wednesdays, same time, same place. The first 15 minutes are going to be more of a stretch, and then the 12, 15, or whatever, when we start the Pilates workouts. And each class will be different. There's lots to do. All right. So thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Thank you.